A pleasant morning to you, Math Online class. We are now to begin our video lesson number 1 for quarter 1. Our first lesson is entitled Factoring Completely Different Types of Polynomials. In your grade 7, you have studied that polynomials is an expression, a combination of variables, coefficients, that is in the form P over Q, where the denominator Q must not be equal to 0. Now, our focus is on factorization or factoring. Let me read. In mathematics, factorization or factoring is the breaking apart of a polynomial into a product of other polynomials called factors. So, we will focus on the word factoring and we are looking for factors. Sa inyo, bala nga pag-multiply, there are products, right? There are two numbers, 2, 3, or more, nga ginapangita to produce the product. Ano ang mga dapat i-multiply to produce your answer? Okay? So, in your grade 7 also, you have exercised multiplying. This is how we multiply. Like this given. 2 times the quantity 2b plus 3c. We use this parenthesis as grouping symbol, meaning 2b plus 3c is one term. Now, in description, 2 is a monomial. Isa lang siya. And then we multiply this into a binomial. Dua ka terms. The first term is 2b and then 3c. So, we do this by distributing 2 to 2b and 3c. First, multiply 2 times 2b. So, the answer is 4b. 2 times 2 is 4. Then, just copy b. Copy plus. Next, multiply 2 times 3c. 2 times 3 is 6. Copy 2 with or copy 6. So, the final answer is 4b plus 6c. Expert na ka muna iya. In this grade 8, we will concentrate on factoring. This is how we factor. The given is 4b plus 6c. Notice, parehas ang answer ha. Diri sa multiplying, ang answer ko is 4b plus 6c. How about kung ang given ta 4b plus 6c? How do we get this? Okay? So, 4b plus 6c by nature is a binomial. 4b first term, 6c second term, dua. So, binomial. Now, there are a lot of factoring techniques, but with this, 4b plus 6c, may common sa ila. We use greatest common monomial factoring. In using that, I have to think of a number, the biggest number that I can divide from 4 and 6. Ano nga number ang pwede ma-divide sa 4b kag 6c? Sa 4 na lang b kag 6. That is 2. So, the factored form of this 4b plus 6c is, ang ako nga GCMF is 2. Okay, then I will divide 2 from 4b. 4 divided by 2 is 2. Copy b. Hindi ko man ma-divide ang b divided by 2, b man nagyapon. Copy plus. So, ikupyahon ko na lang. 6 divided by 2, it's 3. Copy c. There. Kung i-multiply mo siya, class, mabalik ka man gyapon sa answer nga 4b plus 6c. So, that's it. That is how we get the factored form. We will think of the greatest number and then divide. Okay? There are a lot of factoring techniques. And let me introduce you to some of this. Number 1, the greatest common monomial factoring or GCMF. Amon siya ang pinaka-basic sa tanan nga factoring techniques. Tanan nga maagyan yung nga given, dapat ikwaon yung gidana yung greatest common monomial factor. Kay base pa lang ma-apply sa iya. Next, number 2 is difference of two squares. May pattern ginaya kung paano mo gamito ng difference of two squares. Isa ni siya sa pinakahapos man. Number 3, sum and difference of two cubes. Okay, para naman niya sa mga perfect cubes. Number 3, we have the perfect square trinomial. Ang given mo, trinomial, tatlo ka terms. Kag ang first and last terms are perfect squares. And the last is factoring general trinomials. Or the other name for this is trial and error. You try until you get the correct factors. Okay, isa-isahon naton. The greatest common monomial factoring or GCMF. As I've said, amo gini dapat ang imo i-apply pa sa tanan-tanan nga maagyan mo nga factoring. Kay base pa lang, dra pa lang may answer ka na. Okay, let's have example number 1. Example number 1. Factor 4a squared b raised to 5 plus 8a cubed b raised to 4. By nature, our given is a binomial. The first term is 4a squared b raised to 5 plus second term 8a cubed b raised to 4. Now, damo pamaagi on how to answer GCMF. Isa ni siya sa pinakahapos and this was suggested in your SLM or module. First, copy mo 4a squared b raised to 5 kag i-factor. Kag next, copy mo man ang 8a cubed b raised to 4 kag i-factor. Here is, okay, the factoring of the given. What are the factors of 4? We have 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. And then factors of a squared. So we have 2 ka a times a. 2 times 2 times a times a. Then 5 ka b times b times b times b times b times b. 5 man na sila kabilog. Next, 8a cubed b raised to 4. Anong factors ni 8? Tatlo ka 2. 2 times 2, 4. Times 2, 8. So, tatlo na ka 2. Times, tatlo ka A. There, and 4 ka B. I-multiply mo na sila tanan, the answer will go back to 8a cubed b raised to 4. Next, i-box naton ang common, meaning may parehas. May 2 ka 2 si 4a squared b raised to 5 sa una nga term. May 2 man siya ka 2. So, pares. That's what we call common factors. May ara si first term, may ara man si second term. Si 2 hindi na common kay kulang siya 2 so bayan na lang na saya. Ang may pares lang nga common. So we have 2 ka A sa 2 sa kapares, 2 kapares. Next, 4 ka B, isa kapares 2, 3, 4. Okay? So first, ang tanan nga common i-multiply mo na siya. O multiply 2 times 2, 4 times a squared kag 4 ka b raised to 4. Amo man nasa sa dalom 2 times 2 4 times a squared and then b raised to 4. So ang common nila is what we call the GCMF, the greatest common monomial factor. And our GCMF in this case is 4a squared b raised to 4. Common na siya sa ila duwa. Ara 2 times 2 4 a squared b raised to 4. Mira man sa dalom 2 times 2 4 a squared b raised to 4. So isa lang kay common na sila duwa. That's your first factor. How do we get the other factor? Now, ang tanan naman nga wala na box or wala na sulod sa box, amo na siyang kopyahon mo. Sa first term, b na lang nabilin. So open parenthesis, copy your b. Then copy plus, kaya mo na siyang sa babaw, plus. And then, ang nabili naman sa dalom is 2a. So, copy 2a. And that's it. b plus 2a is what we call the other factor. When you multiply this, mabalik na siya sa answer nga 4a squared b raised to 5 plus 8a cubed b raised to 4. There. That's the greatest common monomial factoring. Let us have another example. Example number 2 for greatest common monomial factoring. Factor 28m cubed n raised to 5 plus 35m squared n raised to 4 minus 14mn cubed. Now, the nature of this given is a trinomial. Isa, dua, tatlo. 3 terms. So, trinomial. First term, second term, third term. Separated by plus and minus. Now, in my way, hindi ko mag-factor isa-isa just like what we did. Let's follow my way. Okay, this is how the step goes. Number 1, think of the biggest number that you can divide from 28, 35, and 14. Anong pinakadako nga number nga pwede mo ma-divide sa 28, 35, kag 14? And that is 7. 7 is the greatest number that you can divide from the 3 of them. Next, how about sa variables or sa letters? May common sa tatlo ka terms, mira sa m. Tatlo gid sila, dapat tatlo gid sila ha. Mira man sa n. Pero ang kwaon ta lang is the common variable from each term with the lowest power. So sa m cubed, m squared, m. Anong pinaka-lowest power? It's m. So, copy. Next, how about n? N raised to 5, n raised to 4, n cube. Anong pinakanubo? It's n cube. So, let's join them. 7mn cube. This is what we call our GCMF, or the greatest common monomial factor. Namambal ka, ti mga greatest sa 7, pero sa mn cube nga up silang pinakanubo. Class, ang pwede mo ma-divide sa 28, 35, kag 14 nga pinakadako number 7. Basta number gizaya, pinakadako nga pwede ma-divide. Pero sa mn kag mn cube, ang makaigo lang sila. Sa kay kada karong padako-dako sang power, hindi man kaigo. Dapat kaigo. Okay? Next, let's find the other factor. What do we do? O, prepare ka na daan sang imo nga parenthesis or the grouping symbol. Divide. Isa-isahon mo na sila divide. Okay. 28 divided by 7. That's 4. How about sa variable, sa power pagid? Basta parehas gani power, mag-divide ka, minus ka lang sa power. M cube divided by M. 3 minus 1. So, ang nabilin is M squared. How about n raised to 5 kag n cube? N raised to 5 divided by n cube minus lang power, the remaining is n squared. There. Copy plus. Next, divide ka naman dayon. 35 divided by 7 is 5. And sa power naman sang m. M squared and m. Dua ang power, isa ang power. So, isa na lang. 2 minus 1. M na lang. Nan. And then, n raised to 4 divided by n cube. O, 4 kag 3, isa lang nabilin. Copy, minus. Then, 14 divided by 7. That's 2. 14 divided by 7, 2, diba? M minus n, or sorry, m divided by m. That's 1. But, wala na taga-butang sang 1. Diba, 1 divided by 1 is 1. So, hindi na tayo magbutang 1. Kaya 2 times 1, 2 man nagyapon ang answer. N cube divided by n cube. Ang answer, 1 man gyapon. So, 2 times 1, 2 man gyapon. So, si 2 na lang. Di mo na lang pagsulat. Si 1 da or si m da, 1 na lang. Amo na lang answer. So, 4m squared, n squared plus 5mn minus 2 is called the other factor. The final factored form of our given is quantity 7mn cubed times the quantity 4m squared, n squared plus 5mn minus 2. That is it. So, pili lang kamo kung ano gusto nyo nga way para mag-answer using the GCMF. Number 2. Difference of two squares. The nature of this factoring technique is that ang given mo dapat gagamit minus or the word difference. Kung wala gagamit minus, hindi na siya applicable. Okay? Difference of two squares. Magamba ka squares, these are numbers that have factors which are the same. Just like 1. Ang factorial 1 times 1. Perfect square na tawag. Like also 4. Ang factors ni 4 is 2 times 2. Okay? 3 times 3. So, answer is 9. Ang 9, perfect square. Okay? Like, 10 times 10. The answer is 100. So, 100 is a perfect square. Kaya ang factors nila, parehos. Okay. Here is example number 1. A squared minus B squared. So, A squared minus B squared, pasok sa difference of two squares. Difference kay gagamit sa minus sign. Kagang A squared is a perfect square. Ang B squared is a perfect square also, ng mga variables. First step, find the factors. Isa-isahon mo. Okay, you draw that. What are the factors of a squared? Anong i-multiply mo para makuha si a squared? So, the answer is a times a. Ang pintok na class multiplication na ha. A, isa ka power. A, 1 power. So, gina-add na ako mag-multiply. A times A equals A squared. Next, si B squared. Kuhaan mo man factors. So, factors ni B squared is, remember, minus sign. So, the other one is positive, the other one is negative. Diriya wala problema. Positive, positive. Na iya kay answer ya positive. Diriya kay negative. So, ang isa positive, ang isa negative. B times negative B is negative B squared. Next step, after finding the factors, is pair them up. Parison. Okay? Si A kag si B, parison mo na sila. Masulat ka sa imong first nga parenthesis. So, the answer is A plus B. Ma'am nga, nag-A plus B nga, hindi pwede AB. Class, may ara, ginadaya plus dapat. Okay? Factors ang first term, factors ang second term. Sila pares. Positive din sa si B mo. Okay? Next, parenthesis. Sila naman nga duwa. So, this time, hindi na A plus, kundi minus. A minus B. Amula na siya kahapos. Diba? Isa na siya kapinakahapos, class. Kaya ang answer always sa difference of two squares are conjugates. When we say conjugates, ang isa plus, ang isa minus. Ang mga conjugates, class, when you do the FOIL method, may empty na ma-zero ang middle term niya. If you can notice, ang given natin, wala middle term. First term lang kag, last term. Conjugates. Miski yun na, no pa na si minus o lihi si plus, okay lang na gyapon. Okay, let's have another one. Example number 2. 4x squared minus 81y squared. Okay, notice, they are binomials. And difference siya, kaya gagamit siya minus. 4 is a perfect square. X squared is a perfect square. 81 is a perfect square. Y is a perfect square. Y squared. Okay? And so, first step, find the factors. Anong factors ni 4x squared? Siyempre si 4 anay, tapos si x squared. Factors ni 4 is 2 and x squared is x. So, mapare sila. We have 2x times 2x. And then, factors ni negative 81y squared. We have, ang isa syempre positive, ang isa negative. 9y squared minus negative 9y. Okay? Remember, negative ang sign. So, ang isa positive, ang isa negative. Next, pariso naman sila liwat. Pair them up. We have there, pare sila. Prepare ka sa imo nga parenthesis. We have 2x plus y. Kag, next na factor, parison man sila. Another parenthesis, we have 2x minus 9y. They are conjugates. Ang isa plus, ang isa minus. That's it. Kapos na sa difference of two squares, basta kabalo ka lang sang mga factors. What are perfect squares? Diba? Next, number 3. Sum and difference of two cubes. Ari class, may pattern ini. Okay? So, you have to follow. Given are either sum or difference of perfect cube binomials. So, example number 1, sum anay. Diba we have sum and difference? Ini sum, kay plus mo. The first term must be a perfect cube. O, perfect cube, perfect cube. When you say perfect cube, these are numbers or variables wherein the factors are 3 equal numbers or equal variables. Like 1. 1 times 1 times 1. 1 man gyapon. Diba? 2 times 2 times 2. Tatlo ka 2 i-multiply mo. 2 times 2, 4 times 2, 8. So, 8 is a perfect cube. Ang iyang cube root is 2. Diba? Next, we have example, 3 times 3 times 3. Tatlo ka 3. 3 times 3, 9 times 3, 27. So, 27 is a perfect cube and ang iyang cube root is 3. And so on and so forth. Okay. Ang sum and difference of two cubes may pattern. Follow the pattern ko, no? Amo yung pattern niya ay, ang first nga parenthesis should be cube root of the first term. Cube root siniho. Then plus. And then, cube root of the last term. There. Ang second nga parenthesis is medyo malawig, pero kung kasunod ka lang sa pattern, hapos lang. Square the first term. Ang answer mo di square mo kuno. Amo na dang answer. And then, follow. Class, plus na di siya, pero minus di dayon. Okay? Product of the first and the last term. I-multiply mo ni, amo na dang answer. Okay? And the last, plus, square the last term. Ang answer sinidi, i-square mo. Okay, example. From a cube plus b cube. Ang aton answer, follow the pattern. Okay, first, syempre, preparar mo nga parenthesis. Importante, gid na, cube root of the first term. What is the cube root of a cube? That's a. A times a times a. So, a cube. So, copy a. There. Copy plus. Cube root of the last term. What's the cube root of b cube? That's b. Oh, answer. So, may first answer ka na. Next, diri ka naman ma-base para makuha mo niyo. Next. Square the first term. The first term is a. A squared. So, a squared. A times a is a squared. A squared. Copy minus sign. Product of the first and last term. Multiply mo. First and last term mo. A times B. AB. AB, AB. There. Pero kung number na 2 times it is 6A, pero ti kay AB, A times B, AB. Copy plus. Square the last term. This is your last term. So, square mo siya. B times B. Di ba mo na mag-square? I-multiply mo sa siya, galingon, kadua. So, B times B equals, the answer is B squared. So, class, this is the final answer. The factoring of A cubed plus B cubed is this. Quantity A plus B times quantity A squared minus AB plus B squared. Isa-isahon mo na sa class. Mabalik na ta sa dirao. Okay? Next, let's focus on example number 2. This time, difference naman. How about kung ma-minus naman, B? A cubed minus B cubed. Okay? Kinalain lang plus, diri minus. Pero amo mo nagyapon ang pattern. Okay, ang difference lang karon is ang sign. So, follow the pattern. Cube root of the first term. Cube root, yan ko, no? Siyempre, minus na. Kay minus na diyo mo. Next. Cube root of the last term. Cube root, yan ko, no? Next. Next nga, parenthesis. Square the first term. Square mo man na di karon. Pero this time, class, the sign is positive. Diriya, positive, negative, positive. Diriya, negative. Basta negative na di, positive na nadadayon tanan. Product of the first and the last term. Multiply mo niya mo na isang answer, yeah. And the last, square the last term. I-square mo man na di ko ano answer. I-square mo na da. Okay, let's answer. Parenthesis. Prepare ka get parenthesis mo. Okay, cube root of A cube. Answer is A. Diba? Copy minus. Next, cube root of B cube. It's B. Next, parenthesis again. Square the first term. Muning first term mo, so square mo. A times A. Answer is A squared. Copy plus. Product of the first and the last term. Multiply mo sila nga duwa. A times B. Answer is AB. Mambal ka, minus mo na da, nga nag-plus ka. Amuna sa ang pattern. Gasunod na sa pattern. Miski i-check mo na karon, the answer will be the same and is correct. Copy plus. Kaya rin na ta diya. Square the last term. O square mo na sa kuno. B times B. Answer is B squared. And that's it. That is the sum and difference of two cubes. The only difference, wala labot sa pattern, no, is the sign. Basta positive di gani, positive manadang answer mo. Pero, positive na da isa. Ang negative lang ang middle term. Diriya, kung negative din sa first term, pero positive na da tanan. Okay? Practice and practice para makuha nyo. Next, number 4. Next, let's go to the perfect square trinomial. The nature of this factoring technique is that this is applicable to a trinomial. Tatlo ka terms dapat ang given, and that the first and the last term are usually perfect squares like this example. Example number 1. X squared plus 6x plus 9. Trinomial sila tatlo. First term, second term, third term. This is the first term, this is the last term. Dapat si first term kag si last term, mga perfect squares. What are perfect squares again? These are numbers nga ang factors are the same. Just like si 9. Ano factor ni 9? 3 times 3. O, parehos, 2. Ano factor ni x squared? That's x times x. So, this is how you answer it. Okay, find the factors of the first and last terms only. Factor of x squared is x times x. Factor ni last term nga 9, which is 3 times 3. And then, next step, pair them up, pares. Okay. Si x kag si 3. O, prepare ka na dayon sa imo parenthesis. Don't forget the parenthesis. This is very important. So, x plus 3. Oh, ma'am, nga, ambal ka naman may plus, ma'am. Tika positive ng 3, ho. Hindi pwede nga 3x or x3. Hindi. X plus 3. Okay? Class, now, dapat ang sign di sa sulod, sign nila duwa, masunod gid na sa middle term nga sign. Kung negative na da, negative sila duwa. Kung positive na da, positive man na sila duwa. Okay, so plus, amo na plus. Next, ari naman liwat. Pares mo naman. X plus 3. Okay, so the final answer is x plus 3 times x plus 3. Or, may isa ni sa nga pagsulat. Pwede mo man isa sulaton as x plus 3 squared. Kay duwa sila mo, 1 ang power, i-add mo, duwa sila. Okay, so check ni, pwede man na. Okay, another example. Example number 2. we have 4d squared minus 4d plus 1. 4 is a perfect square. D squared is a perfect square. Positive 1 is a perfect square. Diba? Follow the steps. Find the factors of 4d squared. Ano ganing factors ni 4d squared? Si 4 anay? Siyempre 2. Tapos si d squared is d. So, 2d times 2d. And then, ang imong last term, which is 1. What are the factors of 1? That's, again, mabase ta di klaso. Mabase ta di sa iya nga symbol. So, positive 1 siya. Basing on the symbol, we have negative 1 times negative 1. Okay, next, pair them up, pares. We have 2d minus 1. And the other one, pares, 2d minus 1. So, amo na nasang answer. 2d, quantity 2d minus 1 times quantity 2d minus 1 or there, 2d minus 1 squared. That is it. Hapos-hapos, no? And the last, let's go to the last. Factoring general trinomials. Iniya, mga trinomials ni class, pero usually, ang first term, perfect square, pero ang last term, hindi siya perfect square. So, the given is a trinomial. But you do trial and error until you get the correct factors. Tudluan talang kamo kung paano pinakahapos nga pwede himuon. Kay, hindi mo ni siya madali-dali anseran. Okay? Example number 1. We have x squared plus 5x plus 6. Oh, see, this is a trinomial. First term, second term, third term. Ang first term, perfect square. Pero ang last term, 6, hindi. Okay? So, what are the steps? Find the factors of the first and last terms. So, first term mo, si x squared. What are the factors of x squared? Kabalutan na iya. Which is x times x. Factors naman dayo ni x. Ni 6. Mga x man yakon man. 6. What are the factors of 6? We have 6 times 1. Diba? 6 times 1 is 6. Pero, dapat, kung mag-multiply ka, may equal sa 6. Pero kung mag-add ka naman, may equal sa 5x. Kinahanglan na siya. So, before ka magpares-pares, pangitaon mo gidang correct factors. So, i-add ko ha. 6 plus 1. Again, 6 times 1, 6. Correct. Pero pakilid naman, x or 6. 6 plus 1. The answer is, check whether the factors comply the middle term. I-add mo siya. 6 plus 1 equals 6. 7 na di dapat, class. Okay, okay. 6 plus 1 is 7. Di 5x man na sa lai. Next, mangita ka naman factor ni 6. Ano pagit factor ni 6? Okay. Negative 1 times negative 6 equals positive 6. Mag-amo ka na, pababaw, multiply. Pero magpakilid, i-add. Okay. Negative 1 times negative 6, positive 6. Correct. Pero kung i-add, negative 1 plus negative 6, answer is negative 7. Tisala, mangyapon kay 5x. Mangita ta factor ni 6 na 5 ang answer kung i-add. May factor pagid ang 6? Yes, miyara pagid. We have 2 times 3. 2 times 3 is 6. Correct? Pero kung pakilid, i-add 2 plus 3 equals 5. So, tsakto siya. Okay? So, amo ning pilion ta nga factor ni 6. Okay, next kung makita mo na nga tsakto ang factors, then iparison mo sila. Pair them up. There. First is x plus 2. Okay, positive si 2 mo. So, x plus 2. Another one is x plus 3. Okay, when you do the FOIL method, kag i-check mo na sila class, mabalik na siya sa x squared plus 5x plus 6. Isa ni siya ka pinakadugay nga mga factoring technique, kay pangitaon mo gid ang lain-lain nga mga factors. Pero kung makita mo na is fulfilling, right? I want you to repeat on watching this video so that you will learn something new. Practice and practice. Without practice, we will not get the correct answer. To answer lesson activity 1, ara class, you have to perform the indicated factoring method. 1 to 10, try and try. May may clue kung ano nga factoring technique. Okay? You have until Friday to check on this. Repeat on watching this video. Kag salamat sa inyo patience. Tuon mayo para magtaas ang scores. Thank you very much!